Hey guys, it's Femi Sofolarin and this is the final whistle.
Hello and welcome back to the Final Whistle, presented to you by the Rugby Connection podcast. Well, we're back in the Sevens world with our next guest. He's played for England Sevens, he currently plays for Scotland Sevens, he tore it up at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, was on fire in South Africa at the World Cup Sevens, and he is looking to get that lucrative Team GB contract for next season. It's Femi Sofolarin. Femi, thank you so much for coming on. How are you getting on?
Very well, thanks. How are you? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we're really excited getting you on.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be on. I wasn't expecting the invite, but yeah, it's good to come.
Why wouldn't you expect the invite?
I don't know. True. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll talk to everyone in the rugby world.
That's what we like to hear. Keep open eyes.
Exactly. Get the ball rolling. Get different eyes on the product. Young, old, debut, 100 caps, doesn't matter. We'll take everyone.
Happy days. Good to be here.
Very lucky to have you here as well. First question, we ask all our guests this. What actually got you into rugby in the first place?
Yeah, so I probably started playing rugby properly when I was at school. So at Dulwich College was when I properly started playing when I was around 11, 12. And I think my dad's like a rugby super fan. He absolutely loves it. So he's at every tournament I play. Like, you might have seen a few videos of him in the crowd and whatnot. Like,
yeah, I was going to say that we have seen your mum and dad celebrating a few times.
Yeah, so every time we're at a tournament, they're there waving their flag. So he loves it. And I think the fact that he loves rugby, it was easy for me to just pick up a ball and, you know, to follow that path as well. Like, I played every sport growing up, but I was actually better at hockey until maybe 17 years old. So I was a big hockey player, did athletics as well, bit of football in the past. But then at rugby, when I was like 17, 18, it sort of just kicked on. I was like, right, it's a better career path at least.
That's interesting about the hockey though. I didn't know that. I figured football because a lot of people played football and rugby. And so what was it, ice hockey or was it field hockey that you played?
Field hockey. So it was I played at school. So I was school captain at Dulwich College in South London. It's so it's not the biggest hockey school, but we actually did all right in our year. But and I also played county stuff down in England. So Kent, bit of Surrey as well. So, and Southeast England trials. So like, it's a weird sport. It's a weird one because normally hockey and rugby don't really come hand in hand. But like, it was my sister. She played for England in hockey, so it was like in the family, and that was mum's sport. So it was just like the logical thing for me to do. And but it was good.
That's pretty cool. Obviously, you just mentioned representing England. You've kind of crossed both borders. How did you manage to play for England Sevens and then Scotland Sevens?
Yeah, so with England, it was because I came out of school. I went to school here. I was born in the US, but I went to school here. So just went out of school into the England Academy. So I did that, but I was under the age of 20. So there's a loophole within the rules. I think it's so players don't get locked down too young, which I think is actually quite a good rule, which allows you to switch before the age of 20 if you haven't got a senior 15s cap. So sevens doesn't count as a senior cap as such. So I was able to switch because I got all my England caps before I was 20. And then obviously went across to Scotland through my mum's side of the family, that they're Scottish. So it was it's quite a controversial switch if you think about it, like England to Scotland. You always think, oh, they hate each other, but actually it was well received. It was all good.
That's good. And as a Scotsman, you did make the right decision. So, so there you go. Obviously, just because you've played for England Sevens, you've played for Scotland Sevens, you played for Quins, you've played with like some amazing, fantastic players.
Yeah.
Who is your dream Seven squad, past and present?
Ooh.
You never have had to play with them, just you could have admired them as well.
Don't have to have played with them. In the forwards, I reckon you got to go. Jonah Lomu's got to be at one prop.
Solid.
Because obviously it's Jonah Lomu. You can't have a team without him. No one can touch him. The other prop, I'd probably go Ardi Surveyor. So obviously he had a few sevens caps before he made it big time, and I wouldn't want to be tackling him one-on-one, put it that way.
That's a fair
Hooker,
reason.
he's like hooker, I say Phil Burgess. He's actually old England seven. So when I was with England, he was there as well, and he's like works real hard. Like I think it's all the underrated work. So I think he would be someone pretty cool to put in that side. 9, probably Jerry Tuai. Just having played against him and with him, like he's the king for a reason. Like he can't touch him really. So a bit of a nasty one. I've had a few big defeats against Fiji, so be rude not to put him in. 10, I don't know, like Quay Cooper. He dabbled in sevens.
He did, yeah.
I think I would have liked to see him play a bit more there. And I think just if we're looking for an exciting team, which is what I like to see, put Quay Cooper in there at 10. Centre, the Rico Ioane, there you go. Rico Ioane in the centres, another sevens player. He had his time on the circuit. He was throwing boys about when he was like 17 years old on the circuit, I'm pretty sure. So he'd be pretty useful on the side. And then wing, you got to go the old man, Dan Norton.
Of course.
Obviously, he was my mentor when I was with England and stuff, and still talk to him now. And you don't get 300 tries out being pretty useful. So, and prime Dan Norton, not the old Dan Norton. And he got a bit old towards the end.
Yeah, the electric Dan Norton that scored for fun. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, what a team that is. That is winning every stop on the World Series circuit. It's winning Commonwealth Gold. It's winning nobody's touching that team.
Yeah,
it's unreal. What position were you a winger in 15s as well?
Yeah, so most of my time I spent on the wing, but a bit of fullback as well. So yeah,
that makes this question a lot easier. So who's your dream back three partners? So you've got you. What position do you prefer, wing or fullback?
Whack me at 14. I'll go on right wing.
We'll put you on the right wing then. So who's your left wing? Again, past and present. You get one pick for each, and then your fullback, past and present as well.
So left wing, past and present. Right now, I think a winger who's been tearing up Koroibete.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think it's pretty terrifying. Like they were training at the Lensbury, Australia one time when we used to train there, and I saw him, and he's not actually that tall, but he's just made out of granite. Like he's about my height, but he's just an absolute beast on the pitch, and he just absolutely flies into everything, which is pretty cool to watch. Like. So I put Koroibete on the one wing for present. Obviously, Jonah Lomu. It's got to be the other one.
Classic, yeah.
Past on the wing. Fullback, past, I'll go Jason Robinson. Yeah.
Just dropping legends left, right, and centre here.
I used to watch, like, before games, I used to watch the Jason Robinson highlights. I used to watch videos of him and just be like, okay, I'm going to try to do this on the pitch. But couldn't quite replicate it all the time. But, he's someone I definitely admire a lot. Present at fullback. I like Anthony Watson a lot at fullback. I think he's more exciting than some of the other fullbacks around. So him or Bowden Barrett. Obviously, he's just
nice.
Bowden Barrett.
My God, you're just picking World 15s. Well, like just best players from every generation and chuck it all together.
I'm not showing myself out as a bit of a rugby nose, aren't I?
It's good though. I love that. That's what we love to hear, that you are genuinely a fan at heart as well, which is always a bonus.
Yeah.
We've got a question from our co-host Cam. He's asked, what is your most memorable match or tournament?
I say my most memorable match would be, so in my first season with Scotland, we went to Cape Town. So it would have been my second cap. And our first game on the Friday night was against England. And it went to extra time, and I somehow managed to score the winner in extra time against England. And it was at the time, it was funny as well, because I'd literally just left England about 2 months before, and was then scoring an extra time winner against them in Cape Town for Scotland. And also, like, for Scotland, that's a huge match for us, playing England, as always. So to be able to do that was pretty cool. So that's probably my most memorable match in sevens, definitely.
Did you get any stick for for winning the game?
Not too much, to be fair. I think because we just beat them. So they tried to say anything, I'd be like, oh, made the right decision leaving A. But no, they didn't give me too much for that. But yeah, I think they got one up on us a few times in after that one. So I keep myself quiet.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I did try and get like some dirt on you, and you're clean. There's nothing. Nothing comes up.
That's good.
You're
just not asking the right people.
I'm gonna catch you out then. I'll get something and I'll message you then. So there you go. Harv, our other co-host, has asked, would you rather win the world title in sevens or at 15s?
I think because I've only ever played sevens, I'd have to say sevens, but because I don't actually know what it feels like to play 15s at international level. But obviously 15s is what everyone watches, so, or like what most people watch, and that's like a bigger thing, a bigger stage. So I can imagine it would be just as good, if not better, to win a World Cup in 15s. But having played sevens, having dedicated a lot of time to it, I think that would just be out of this world to win a world title in that. So
yeah, no, that's fair. How do you actually get into like pure sevens rugby? Because obviously you do get like at amateur level, you play 15s, and at the end of the season it's the occasional sevens tournament. Whereas your whole career is essentially a sevens player.
Yeah, so for me it was through academy. So the way they do it in England, or they used to do it, I don't think they do it anymore. But so out of the boys that get academy, under 18 academy league, so the guys who don't get contracts with the clubs, some of them get put forward to try out on sevens. So that's what happened for me. So I got put forward from Harlequins. So I was with the academy there to do the England sevens trial, and managed to get in that way. But I think more recently, in England at least, they watch a lot of sorry, my dog's.
That's all good.
So in England, at least, they watch like a lot of the Super Series. So that's the league in England for sevens, and in Scotland, I know that there's a lot of the boys get picked out of the Super Six. So it's the new sort of championship up in Scotland, the Super Six. And then we also get a few of the lads from the pro clubs, the young ones coming through. So I think it is there's no like clear pathway. I think everyone sort of has their own little story. Like I know a lot of the boys up in Scotland, they're just been grafted in the Scottish Prem or Super Six, and then they get their opportunity with sevens through that. And in England, it's now more just Super Six, not Super Six, Super Series guys. So like teams like Samurai, Jesters playing on the Super Series in England get picked up from that. So I think it's quite a lot of different pathways now. But for me, it was just through academy and then into the England trials.
That's fair. It's very unpredictable, just kind of like the world of sevens. It's a very unpredictable way to get in. It's a very unpredictable sport. We've got another question from Cam. He's somehow managed to sneak two in, but anyway. Which player, I'm guessing it's obviously from the recent Scotland Sevens team, on the team are you most likely to have a pint with?
Have a pint with from the most recent team? Ooh, that's a tricky question. If I go for a pint with any of them, but if I have to pick one, my roommate Reece Cullen. So I was rooming with him in LA and the World Cup in South Africa, and he's just hilarious. Like he's a little freak. So if I could see him again, like he just sits in his room gaming all day. So I'm probably not going to be going for a pint with him anytime soon. But if he was ever down London, or if I was up in Bigger where he's from, then I'd choose him because he's absolutely hilarious. So Reece Cullen.
Good, I like that. I don't want to dampen it, but because there's no reason you shouldn't. If for whatever reason the GB contract doesn't come your way, what's next for Femi Sofolarin?
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I'm obviously waiting on that still, but I think there's a lot of good opportunities out there because I'm at 22 now, so it's not too late to start afresh, try something new. So if I didn't get a sevens contract, I'd probably look to head back to 15s. And obviously, it's difficult to get an opportunity right at the top to start with. So you're thinking either champion England or Super Six in Scotland. But a big thing on my radar is heading out to Australia to play shoot shield stuff.
Oh, nice.
That's one thing I might do. So obviously my parents live in Brisbane, and I've got a lot of family in Sydney as well. So like going out there would definitely be a good option for me. And obviously the weather's a lot nicer out there, so I wouldn't be too against it. That and MLR as well. That's a league which is up and coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, having been born in Boston in America, it's actually, I think it's a bit easier for me to get out there with visas and passports.
Yeah, that's true.
MLR is definitely something which is on the radar. But then you got to think as well, like if you're 22 now, you got to think long term. So it's it's a tricky decision. Like you wouldn't have thought like you're making big decisions at 22. So a lot of the time it just sort of just happens and it falls on a plate and you just do it. And it's been that case so far for me in my career. Like it's just I've got opportunities to like, okay, I'll do it. But it's at a point now where I have to like sort of make a decision around all that. So yeah, I think either Australia or America are probably what I would look to do if GB doesn't happen. But yeah, so Australia or USA, I'd say.
I love those answers, and I love how like you're not focused on. Obviously, you do want the GB contract, but you've got backup plans just to fall back on as well, because not many players have a plan B essentially.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially like as you said, sevens is such an unpredictable world, and with GB, like the competition for those places is so high. Like as you got 3 international squads competing for one place, and within each of those squads, you got like 3 boys in every position. So there's like 9 players for 3 places. So I wouldn't be too surprised if I don't get it, but if I do get it, it'd be class. But if I don't, then obviously those aren't 2 bad options either. Like sun in Australia or back to America, like I'd be happy to do either, to be honest.
Now, would you play for like the MLR team closest to Boston, just because that's where you're from, or?
I think it would be cool to. I think it's the New England Free Jacks in Boston, in Boston. So it'd be pretty cool to play for them. But I wouldn't discriminate. It's pretty cold up there, so wouldn't mind going down to LA or something. Like, not a bad lifestyle down there. So I wouldn't really care to.
That's fine. I was just trying to test your luck there a little bit, just to see if I could catch you off guard. Yeah. Now, I would say these are fan questions, but these are definitely not fans. They definitely know you.
Oh,
no. And I feel like 2 of them's like, but before I drop names, a previous guest of ours has asked, did you get any interesting DM during the games? I'm guessing it was about the Commonwealth Games.
What? Did I get any Insta DMs?
Did you get any interesting DMs during the games?
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't know who's the guest. Depends who's asking.
I'll let you have a guess first. Take a guess, and then I'll tell you.
Is it Robbie Ferguson?
It was Robbie Ferguson.
Oh, of course it was. No, my DMs were pretty empty after the games. Like they're always open. I'm happy to receive them, but no, after the games they were empty. I don't know what you're talking about.
Near that, I replied with, I'm imagining he did, but no, did he get an interesting DM during the games?
No, maybe. I got a couple good luck messages from some friends, but that's about it. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough. Red.Freeman has asked, Dulwich?
Yeah, I was at school with him.
All right, that's all the question is, just Dulwich with a question mark?
Yeah, that sounds like red. I don't know what there's not much going behind that question. Like that's what
I had to write it down because it was a one word. I'm like, that feels like a very personal thing towards you. So
I mean, I went to school at Dulwich and he was there too. I think that's
there you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's short and sweet. That Matt Davidson has asked your favourite New Zealand Sevens women's player.
Oh, it's not connected to the Commonwealth question, but
I thought it was. I thought a black friend like slid in your DMs, and that's why. Oh, okay.
Nah. Well, I don't know, but favorite New Zealand Sevens player, Sevens.
Yeah.
McGarvey Black from the
Nice.
men's. Yeah, he's class. Like I played against him in Hong Kong in the tens before, and he's got such good skills and he's got footwork and pace to match as well. Like he's a good lad as well on the beers afterwards too. So I'd say McGarvey Black, he's the boy.
The question was female though. It was, who's your favorite Black Fern Sevens player?
Portia Woodman's real good. She's playing in the 15s World Cup coming up.
She is electric.
We'll go Portia Woodman. She's good to watch.
I feel like that was meant to be linked to something, but
I don't think so. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like you do. You're just not saying anything.
Nah, it can never be me.
Freddie Owsley has asked, do you ever lose your head?
Do I ever lose my head? Oh, I know there's a trend with these questions. They know me too well, but so no, I'm normally quite a cool, calm, collected character, as I'm sure a lot of people would say. But there's this thing that's called we do every morning in the sevens called Bring the Joy. So it's what we do like before breakfast to bring the boys together, get all the lads in the room. So it's basically a meeting. It's not really a meeting. It's just to get everyone ready for the day, like back as a group, basically. And I'm not much of a morning person, so there's not much joy for me in the morning. So I normally come down pretty tired after my morning shower, and there's a couple of games where boys have cheated, and I hate cheaters. Lee Jones in particular, there was one in South Africa at the World Cup, really got under my skin, and he was cheating. No one else saw it, but I saw it, and I may have got a bit angry because it was the morning. I'm not an angry person, but it was the morning, so I'll allow it.
I felt like that was like you've done something during camp that has made
as a trend.
I'm trying to just because we've had Robbie on, you can get your revenge.
Yeah.
You could say something that's about Robbie that'll
Robbie. Oh, he's I've not got much on Robbie, to be fair. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Maybe by the come the end, I'll have something to say.
I mean, you could throw the other two under the bus if you want. You could throw Matt or Freddie under the bus.
Ask Freddie so he has a new girlfriend. So which he hates saying is his girlfriend, but she is his girlfriend.
Right, okay.
So you can ask him about that.
I will do. I'll get him on and then I'll be like, so how's the girlfriend?
We'll go with that.
And do you want to throw Matt under the bus?
Matt, old concrete pins. Slowest man on the chase back in world rugby, I've heard.
There's not going to be friendships after this one.
No friendships.
Just talking about South Africa, how was your whole experience during the build up to the World Cup and obviously being in the World Cup itself?
Yeah, so obviously we came straight from Los Angeles for the last World Series into South Africa. Had like 10 days or so to sort ourselves out, basically. So we got a couple of days off at the start of the week, but it's like such an amazing country and they're absolutely rugby mad. So very rarely do you go to a place where, especially with sevens, because you go to some pretty rogue places. Like if you go to Singapore, only maybe the people coming to watch will know that there's actually rugby on this weekend, whereas we're in South Africa in Cape Town and everyone knows that it's the Sevens World Cup. So on that, in terms of that, it was really cool, like a really cool experience. And then we also did a couple of days with guys from townships, guys and girls. So we were training them and just messing around with them. And it's like real perspective on what we do and how we can impact people. So that was cool as well. Like really enjoyed that. And I think that's a big part of why sevens is such a good thing. Like you get to experience so many different cultures in different places. So that was good. And then on the pitch, obviously it wasn't ideal. Like we were struggling a bit with injuries, so we were missing 5 pretty important players. I think it was 5. So you obviously got Robbie, he's had to go back for his kid, and guys like Coombsy, Ross, Grant. Obviously Big Geordie got injured 2 weeks before. So we're struggling with injuries, but we had depth, and we were hoping to do a bit better on the pitch. But you know, it's the case with sevens, like it's so unpredictable. Like one thing doesn't go well and then you just compound errors and you end up losing. And in sevens as well, you got 14 minutes, so anyone can turn anyone over. which turned out to be the case against us. But it was like regardless, it was an unreal experience. Like the atmosphere in Cape Town's, I think, pretty different to anywhere else, because they actually do love their rugby in South Africa. You go to a lot of places like Hong Kong on the circuit where no one's watching the rugby. They're all just drinking beers in the stand, having fun. But in South Africa, they're actually watching. So they actually know what's going on. So that's pretty cool. Like, so overall, the experience was pretty crazy.
That's good. I mean, I've never really been to like a World Sevens event, but I can vouch for going to a normal game or a 15s game where there's people around you that are just drinking and don't have a clue, and I'm like, shut up, please. Stop talking. You just annoy me now.
Yeah.
You need passionate fans that know what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's South Africa is probably the best place for that, because rugby is their main sport. So everyone knows what's going on. Everyone knows what it is. So yeah, it was a cool experience in terms of that.
Yeah, it did look fantastic from what I've seen of it. Final question before we move on to something different. We ask all our sevens players this: what do you do during, like, in between games? Because a lot of players just like go around taking pictures, sit in the crowd, watch a game, or Liam Messam said, like, you have to find a way to get out of like the adrenaline, because you'll end up doing yourself, like, burning yourself out before the next game. So what do you do?
Yeah, so I normally you go back into the sheds, you have a shower, and by the time you finish, you've had your shower, then normally the game's on the team laptops and on the iPads and stuff. So I watch the game straight away, and then I'll park it. So get it out of the system, because it could have gone well or it could have gone badly. You don't want to dwell on it because you've got another probably 2 games in the day. So get it out of the system, look at what went wrong, think about that. And then I'll normally try go find my parents. So as you said, my dad's always in the crowd. So I'll go try find him, or if I have any friends there. So I'll go chat to them, sort of take my mind off the rugby almost for a bit, just chat to them. I know I've got angry at my dad a few times, because he always says, he talks about the game. And I said, nah, I don't want to talk about the game right now, mate. But so try park it, see them. And then I'll go for a nap normally. So I'm a big sleeper. So I just sleep until we have to be back in the change rooms doing analysis for the next game. So sleep or watch like a movie or something in the change rooms. But you have to, as you said, Liam Messam said, you have to park it. You can't be thinking about rugby the whole time, or you'll get real stressed out. Like sevens, there's so many ups, so many downs. If you're switched on about rugby or the game the whole time, then you're going to be in trouble come the end of the tournament. Because it's as much as a physical challenge as it is like a mental challenge in sevens. I think is very different to 15s. But yeah, so try to get away from the rugby until sort of maybe hour and a half before the next warm up. Well, then I'll go back into the sheds and do analysis for the next team and sort myself out, get strapped up and think about the next game then. But yeah, just try and get away from it basically.
Yeah, just try and get away from it all. I like that. So now we're moving into getting to know Femi Sofolarin. So it's more personal questions. There's nothing really rugby related in this part. Cats or dogs?
Definitely dogs.
Definitely dogs.
Where is he? He's down here. I'll show you my dog.
Go on then.
Come on. There he is.
Oh,
little Colby.
Hello.
Yeah, so I'm definitely a dogs guy.
Definitely a dog person.
Dogs over cats for sure.
I'm still waiting on a guest that says cats, but it's always a fun.
Anyone who prefers cats is weird, so
yeah, preach. 100% agree with you on that. What is your favourite post-match drink? Well, we'll say post-tournament drink, because you can't really drink in between games.
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
Come on now. Come on, alcohol. Come on, alcohol.
Ooh, I'm not against the cider, I get a lot of chat for it, but I'm not against the little fruity cider. Just to ease yourself.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Any specific cider, or just whatever's floating about?
Well, I get tucked into Strong Boy dark fruits pretty often, so a proper fruity one, yeah.
Proper fruity one, yeah. Nothing. What's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. I don't think so. So some people seem to think it's not a proper drink, but I'm very, very for a fruity cider.
Nothing. I don't see any problem with that. So just tell them.
I like that.
Favorite music genre?
Favorite music genre. I like quite an eclectic mix of music. I don't pigeonhole in one type, but I do like my sort of Afrobeat stuff. Listen to a lot of that, but then yeah, it's Afrobeats, rap, country music, big on that too. Like a lot of country music.
That's become a big thing this year. There's a lot of guests have a soft spot for country music. I'm not against it. I like. There's a certain songs in the country genre that I'm like, I could listen to that. I could like that.
It's good. It's good, especially for like more chilled vibes. Like if I'm just sitting about, then country music's the one for me.
That's fair. Any go-to songs? Like your favorite song at all?
Listen to Something in the Orange, Zach Bryan, quite a lot recently.
Okay.
Something in the Orange, bit of 23, Chase Beckham. I like that too recently.
Nice. Favorite film?
Favorite film? Ooh. Probably Rush Hour 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rush Hour. I think it's class. All the Rush Hours are good, but I think 3 for me is the best one. Like that's one film I could watch again and again. Like normally I don't like watching films more than once, but Rush Hour 3.
Rush Hour 3. Is Rush Hour 3 the one where it's like, who are you? I am you, and he is me.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
That's the one, yeah. That's the best scene as well, yeah.
Don't know what you're feeling, but he is too damn big. That cracks me up every time. I can't do the voice.
Yeah,
I can't do the voice, but yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. What's your current Netflix binge? What are you currently binging on Netflix?
Ooh.
Or what do you recommend?
So I've never watched Stranger Things. So I'm currently just started season 2 of that, and it's good. I'm in on that.
Well, you're actually further ahead than me because I was quite late to it as well. So I'm still on season 1, and I get why it's called Stranger Things.
Yeah, I do.
Nothing happens, but it's very weird.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but there's not much going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of cutscenes and like deep breathing and all that, and then they're gone. I'm like, huh, what? And I keep rewinding it and watching it back. I'm like, no, I've not missed anything. They just disappear. Cool.
Yeah, I've heard good reviews for it, so I'm hoping it stays good. Fingers
crossed.
Yeah.
So what else what do you recommend then? What did you?
So I watched some people again think this is weird, but I watched quite a lot of like animated stuff, cartoons and stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Avatar, Last Airbender. My favorite series.
Oh, nice. Right, yeah.
That's also on Netflix. Last Airbender. What else? Madagascar. So you know Madagascar, King Julian from Madagascar, the animated the cartoon. There's a Netflix series like that follows his life, which I watched that before bed. It's an easy watch, keeps you happy before bed. You wake up happy as well. So good.
Fair enough. Do you have any tattoos?
0 tattoos, unfortunately.
If you were to get a tattoo, what would you get?
I don't know. I've thought about it. I have thought about so recently I've got went on holiday with a few of the boys, and we agreed to get a group tattoo. So I'll say that. The group tattoo is one of those blind mice from Shrek.
I like that.
So we're thinking of getting that on the boys.
Can I ask why?
Yeah, so like I think we went to Bordeaux, which is obviously in France, and you know, I think no one really remembers what happens over the 4 days. I think it was pretty.
You're all blind mice.
That's the end of season, so all blind mice.
I like that. That's a very valid reason. Do you have any hobbies away from rugby?
Hobbies away from rugby? I wouldn't have. Not really. I play PlayStation a fair bit.
Any go-to game? Like, what's your go-to games?
Probably Warzone, Call of Duty.
No.
Or just a bit of classic FIFA. So the classics.
Classic FIFA.
I actually don't do much in life other than Netflix, GM, rugby. Pretty boring.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a simple life.
Yeah, simple life's a good life.
Exactly. Is there any team you support in football? Like
in football, so I'm a Manchester United fan, unfortunately. But I've got season tickets to Crystal Palace as well. So they're the local club from where I live down.
All right, okay, that's fair. I was like, how does that happen?
No, so I go to Palace whenever I can. Whenever we've got home games, I go down to watch. So
Nice.
Palace / United will go.
Fair enough. Nice, weird, strange blend that, but it's all good. Favorite food cuisine, like style of food.
Ooh. Oh, I love just cheeseburgers, just burgers.
Love it.
I have a lot. At uni, they used to call me cheeseburger femmes because I tucked into one too many, I think. So I go cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger femmes. Favorite pizza topping.
Pizza topping. I like probably pepperoni if we're keeping it simple. Like barbecue base though is key to a good pizza. Again, controversial. Some people hate barbecue base, but I love a barbecue based pizza. If you're in Italy, obviously you go for the traditional tomato, but
of course, yeah.
Domino's, I think it has to be barbecue based if you're going Domino's or Pizza Hut.
That's fair. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
It doesn't. I don't think
it doesn't.
So. Like,
correct. That is a correct answer. No, it doesn't. And you've solidified yourself by saying it does not belong on pizza. So you're all good. Favorite podcast.
Favorite podcast. This one.
There's only one correct answer.
There you go.
The best joke you've ever heard.
Oh no. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Best joke I've ever heard. I genuinely can't think of any off the top of my head.
That's fair. That's fine. Yeah. What is the most used app on your phone?
Probably Instagram or TikTok. Like
fair.
Hours on TikTok, you get into holes, like you just up down for hours. Like.
That's how I ended up getting into TikTok. I was just watching videos and then people were doing rugby opinions, and I'm like, I could do that. I could.
That's like you come up on my feed page a few times, to be fair. So.
Oh no.
There you go.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Good stuff, all good.
I try and be as least controversial, or because you do get people that just come out with something purely for clout. It's like
a lot of the time people don't actually because obviously controversy sells, doesn't it? So
not even that. Like there's like obviously the Premiership's just not long started, so it's like, oh, here's my like final table, and somebody's put like Exeter Chiefs in 9th, Harlequins 8th, and I'm like, you can't be real.
Yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. There's a lot of people who think they know a lot, or at least they're just trying to cause a bit of drama. Yeah. No, I've had my fair whack of people that aren't happy with what I've said, but it's just an opinion. It doesn't hurt anyone. Exactly. Yeah, fair enough.
If you could have any exotic animal as a pet, what would it be and why?
Ooh. I'd probably say a lemur. Just because I watching King Julian on Madagascar right now.
King Julian, yeah, that's fair.
And like he looks like he has a lot of fun. So if you had a lemur, I think it'd be pretty cool. Lemur,
I feel like you might be disappointed with an actual lemur.
Sorry?
I feel like you might be disappointed with an actual lemur compared to the King Julian lemur.
You reckon?
Oh no! Every time, like you see them in like documentaries and they jump about and all that, but then you see them in safari, they just sit there. They don't do it.
Maybe I'll change up. Maybe a panda.
Panda.
They look like pretty cute, and they like roll about and stuff, which is quite cool. So I'll go panda.
That's a good answer. Both were acceptable answers. I was just Kyle Rowe or Caden Murley.
Oh, I've got to back my boy Kyle, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, my first ever Sevens trip, I roomed with him in Dubai, 2019. So
nice.
Obviously, he's a sevens boy. So he's sevens at heart. When we played in London as well, he came out for coffee with the boys. So back my boy Kyle Rowe.
It was a trick question as well because we've had Kyle on the show as well. So
fair enough. There you go.
England sevens or Scotland sevens?
Scotland sevens.
Good lad.
Right.
I thought I wrote that down and I'm like, he's going to be like a smart arse and say Team GB just to be really awkward with it.
Well, for all I know, I'm not going to be playing for Team GB. Who knows? So Scotland sevens for sure. Like it's just because so obviously I love my time with England as well. But with Scotland, I think with England I was behind Dan Norton and Tom Bowen, two greats of England sevens. So like was never really playing. So I wasn't really like a big part of that squad in terms of actual influence on the pitch. Whereas went to Scotland, had a bit more responsibility, I felt, and I think I felt come along more this last year than I have had in the past. So definitely Scotland sevens in terms of career, and
that's fair.
3 years now with them, so as well. So it's been longer. So Scotland sevens.
That's all valid reasons. It's just a little trick question that we ask. If you played for more than one club or represented multiple teams, you try and catch them off guard, and you'd be amazed. You've slipped into how quick people answer that question.
Yeah.
Usually you get them like, I thought, oh no, I can't answer that. I love them both or something. But nobody does it. They just, no, this team.
It's funny because I even like my last holiday, I went on holiday with the England sevens boys. So it seems nice. They won't like that answer, but you got to stay.
That's all good. We've not had an England seven on yet, so there you go. Final question for you, Femi. One thing you'd like to be remembered for?
Ooh, one thing I'd like to be remembered for. On the pitch or off the pitch?
You do both?
Both. On the pitch, just an exciting player, basically. I think a lot of guys are pretty fit within the mold, and I don't think that's me as such. And it's good for fans, I think. It's good to watch, but coaches don't always like it. But I think to be an exciting player, I don't want to be a boring player in terms of what I do on the pitch. So to bring a bit of excitement on the pitch and someone who, so when they get the ball, then people expect things to happen. So for on the pitch, off the pitch, just being a happy person. I like being pretty chilled out around the squad and stuff. So someone who brings good vibes to the team environment off the pitch, I'd say.
Solid answer. And yeah, you are a very happy person. I don't think I've not seen you not smile this whole chat. So yeah. and you are a vibe. Like you ooze just fun going. Like I could have a drink with you.
Happy days. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know when you're next up, but if you're up next time you're up in Scotland, give a shout, and I'll drink dark fruits as well. So
there you go. So no judgment either. So
no judgment. It wouldn't be like, oh, what are you drinking? Dark fruits. Oh God. It wouldn't be like one of them. No.
Perfect.
But the book is now shut. You've absolutely smashed it. You've crushed every question. You've answered a lot real as well, which I love. This is the whole point of it. We love real conversation. We love natural conversations. None of this forced, you already know the questions before we record, rubbish. I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah. Not holding my tongue. Probably helps. I currently don't have a job, so I don't have to hold my tongue for anyone.
Get the boy the GB7's contract, because he absolutely deserves it. He scores for fun, and you're not just a winger though, like that runs. You are ridiculously strong. You're solid under the high. Yeah.
Get on the phone to the coach, boss.
Get on the phone.
Yeah, we'll see.
I cannot thank you enough for agreeing to come on, and all the best, whether you're in Australia, the MLR, or down in the 7th Circuit once again. But this has been the final whistle with Femi Sofolarin. We'll see you next time.